Right, morning. It's been a little while since I last updated. So this morning I'd just go around and generally have a look. Planted up all our peas in here with the hazel. They haven't started to grow up yet, but they're doing alright. So down here we've had a bit of a disaster. The squirrels have decided that they wanted to bury their nuts with the hostas. So they dug up everything. So my experiments are quite ruined because they've mixed it all up. But the orange stuff, you can see, is my next trial, which is I have heard that cayenne pepper deters squirrels and cats from digging. So these all now have a nice little orange thing, and I have returned the sticks of deterrent. So that's those done. These are fuchsias that have overwintered and are coming back, so that's really good, but I'll plant them up with something before I do that. Front garden update. Looking really good. I've treated the box hedge for box moth because there are a couple that had overwintered. That's a squirrel you can hear. I need to weed the front bed, so that's and kind of tidy up the front bit. So that's something to do. But the woodland bit is looking really good. We've had some natural rain, so looking really good. Ferns are coming through. This fern I was really confused about because it originally looked like this. Has now opened up to looking more like a normal fern. So that's good. Maybe I'll be able to identify it now. The little foxglove I transplanted, it stayed alive. So that's good. Lots of positives. This honesty is flowering now. Really pretty seed pods when they come through. So it'll be nice to show you. Another disaster has been these where the squirrels have tried to dig them up. These are our salad leaves. So I've put sticks over them, and I'm going to try the cayenne pepper trick, and I've put them on top of our storage box. Seedlings update. Broccoli is doing really well. I think what we've got, I think I can work it out now. These are standard broccoli, and these are purple stem broccoli. They will take a year to develop, and then behind them are leeks, so that's fantastic. Potted on all of these, given some to my parents to do stuff with. We like just drop off on doorsteps because I didn't have enough room for them. Nothing here, nothing really here, but I do have some cosmos coming through, like little tiny seedlings there. I've got wallflowers, if I didn't have enough wallflowers already, coming through. Nothing at the bottom here, but we do have some success over here. We've got some carnations coming through, so they look good, and sweet williams, so lots of bedding plants. Also, I've been doing loads of weeding and things and just been finding generally unusual plants. So I think these were the ones from the woodland, but the other day I was weeding along the side and I found all these random things. So I've got, I think these are 2 baby honeysuckles, so they've been potted on. These are all, this one and this one are all baby foxgloves. And good. I have a feeling this is a weed, but the leaf was so pretty. This I'm pretty sure is a hazel, and that's a hazel as well, but I might be wrong. So, and this, really random, don't think I'd ever grow this normally, is a piece of corn that got inside my compost bag and has decided it wanted to grow. I'm not sure it'll do so well now it's out of the compost bag. I think it probably was a lot hotter there. But now it's probably going to die, but worth giving a go in a pot. None of the garden centres are at the moment, so my parents and I do like a plant exchange where basically I leave them some plants on their doorstep, they leave me some. So they give me this little sea holly, which is really cute. It's got a lovely kind of variegated leaf. I've already got some sea hollies, but none of them are quite like this, so I'll probably put this with those. They've given me these two, which are a type of rock rose, a smaller leafed. I have a rock rose which is going to bloom soon, but this is a much smaller leafed one. They've got me some bargain clematises, which I'll find a home for, and behind them I've just got some fuchsias which are coming back. This one's doing really well, which have been overwintering, and yeah, another hornbeam. So this one unfortunately I had to take out a couple of years ago because it had been broken by some animals, but it's doing alright in a pot. We've got to find some homes for them so they don't have to live in pots forever. So I'm going to just start over here, which is part of my fruit bed but not part of my fruit bed. So this is a blueberry plant. Now blueberry plants like ericaceous compost, which is why I've got it in a pot because naturally we don't have very acidic soil here. We have really alkaline soil, so it definitely has to be grown in a pot or in highly ericaceous bed. But I don't really have very much ericaceous means it's acidic. And these ones have been fertilised, hopefully. We have some more flowers though. So last year we only got about, I don't know, 5 blueberries. So we think we'll get a few more this year. I'd love to in the future have like a woodland area where you would be able to have these like a proper wood where you can grow them wild, because they also need to be in shade, which is partly why it's just kind of tucked around this corner. Okay, and this is our main fruit bed. So it's looking really lush. To be honest, when I'm watering, I'm doing this bit last and I'm leaving the hose in for a lot longer. So what have we got in here? Well, we've got a red currant, which I've never had any fruit off, but I will this year. Yes! So most currant plants produce their flowers off last year's stems. My mum says her red currants sometimes do it on this year's as well, but black currants definitely. But I've got quite a lot of flowers coming. Even got some new ones coming up there, so that's really, really good. And we think, I remember this is called Jonker Van Tietz. It's doing really, really well. Next to it is a raspberry, which I've hacked back because last year I thought it might fruit on its last year's growth, but it did really badly. So I've hacked this back because I'm expecting this to be quite late in the year. Raspberries. This is a gooseberry. And oh my gosh, it's a green gooseberry. Don't know what type, just it was a green gooseberry. Probably I got it for like 99p from the 99p shop. But it is covered in flowers. So many flowers. I don't really like gooseberries, but I guess I'm going to have to because it is just inundated. So in fact, it's even got parts of it that have rooted down here. But my mum's recommended that I leave them this year, allow them to establish themselves, and then maybe can transplant and provide her with. She's already got quite a lot. She's got like 3 or 4 gooseberry bushes, but who knows? Somebody might want some gooseberries. This is a currant. Now, my issue was I've moved this currant, and I have no idea which currants are where. But this one, I don't expect to flower this year. I'll be really surprised if it does because it's not really grown very much yet. But it's leafing, so that's good. And I'll just keep watering it and feeding it. And next year, hopefully it'll be fine. Now, down here is a small... Oh, that's a weed. While I'm doing this, might as well weed. And some grass. So this is a small kind of Loganberry, Tayberry. It's not got any, so it's a cultivar because it's not got any thorns. Most of these originally came from things like blackberry that have thorns. So we know it's cultivated because it hasn't got any thorns on it. It's not really taken off prolifically yet, and I doubt it will flower this year, but I'll keep feeding it. I might make sure it doesn't get too overwhelmed by... Oh, this is a new stem off it actually. That's good. This is Rubus phoenicoleus. It's actually the Japanese wineberry. Now I know nothing about this. I got this probably from Morrison's for £1.29 or something. I don't know if it'll flower this year, but it's doing quite well. It's growing up really nicely. Now this arbor was a purchase that we thought we might have in the front garden, but it turned out to be too big. But it's perfect because it does mean now I can have some height in this bed with these. Behind, I'm pretty sure that this is just a standard blackberry cultivar with no thorns. And it's going to flower, so that's good. It doesn't have many flowers, but it looks quite good. We have loads of strawberry plants. And then I've got another currant of some kind here, but it's very small. Doubt it'll flower this year. And this one, which did do a lot of growing last year, but so far I've only got this little green shoot at the bottom. So I'm not really sure. I'm going to leave it. We might be lucky. Oh, no, I see some more green. Oh, good. It might just be quite late to the year, so that's good. More weeds. Oh. Here is hyssop, which I have no use, really, I know of. I have to look up what to use. I think you make, like, syrups and things. It has a lovely purple flower. This is mint, which grows everywhere. I've actually grown it inside a pot. You can probably see at the bottom. It got out of the pot. But I'm quite ruthless with this, so I basically took it all back to its original pot. So at the moment, Moscow's like, where's the mint? And I was like, I've torn it all out. But it looks like we're going to have lots of new growth, so that'd be great. Gotta say, our main use of mint is in gin and pims. This is something called Angelica. Now, Again, don't really know many uses for it. Apparently you can use it for syrups, and you can use it when you're stewing like fruit and things. It's meant to add quite like an aniseedy taste. Certainly when we prune it, it's aniseedy. Now it has started to flower. Now I did read up on this. So it's called Angelica. It's named after Michael, an angel, an archangel even. And basically the rumour is, when there was a plague, a monk was praying for like a cure, and this plant was the cure that came for this plague. Obviously that is probably a fictitious story, but a lot of herbs actually do have medicinal properties, and it might well have helped. But what I found out is if I let this flower and seed, it will die. And I quite like it as a bit of foliage. So I'm gonna in a moment prune out these flowers, because it's got just absolutely huge. Here is our curry plant, which has been nibbled on by something, but should survive, and it really does smell like curry. So when you like put it between your fingers and it smells like curry powder. That's cool. Caraway, which again, oh, look at seeding. Oh, I could take that out. Generally with herbs, you don't want them to seed, because if they seed, then you generally lose them. So we've got caraway, chives, which are well established here. They're doing good. And then yesterday, day before, I went shopping, and what I like to do is, I don't know if your local supermarkets do this, but they sell like fresh herbs, and I never can keep them alive in my kitchen. But what I do is, at the beginning of the summer, spring, I buy them and I put them in my flower bed. Now they don't generally survive the winter. This did. This was bought from just a supermarket. They don't generally survive the winter, but sometimes they can. So this is coriander. I can't remember what the American name is, but it's a really weird name. Lawrence and I always laugh about it. Basil, parsley, and thyme. Now the thyme will definitely survive, should do, but I do like thyme. I have ornamental thymes, but I don't have fresh thyme to use for cooking. Currant. Oh, how exciting. And what I also think to be aware of is this raspberries. They send runners, so they are absolutely everywhere. So I have to constantly, oh, there's one there, constantly chop those back, so more there. So if I were to do it again, I'd probably put the raspberry inside like a big container inside here, but it's fine, it's manageable, because at least it's in a raised bed, so I can get it out. Update you when we next have some more exciting things going on. Thank you for watching. Bye.